Hey, it's Mark Linear with your video thought for the day. You know, we think in metaphors. We find them in our speech. And I've been talking about food for the last part of this week and the way food is used in the book of Ruth, because it's used in a way that is very instructive if you focus in on the food words. So I hope you've seen the other two videos. If not, I hope you'll go back and find them and watch them. But I want you to think for a moment about how important it is to think in food terms. We talk about food for thought. It's a metaphor. We talk about chewing on something. Let me chew on it. A metaphor. Heavens, metaphors about food pepper our speech. We've got all sorts of those metaphors for food in what we say and do. Well, if you go back and look, there's a really cool little twist in Ruth that starts out in the beginning and ends in the end of Ruth that's tied around this same concept of food, but we may not fully grasp it. See, the story starts out with the famine in the fields and area of Bethlehem that caused Naomi and her husband and her boys to move over to the country of Moab. Over in Moab, there's food available, there's grain, and they're able to eat. And then the sons and the husband die on Naomi while they're in Moab. But Naomi moves back to Bethlehem, and in Ruth 1:6, it says, she heard that God had given food to his people, that God gave them food. Give is the Hebrew word natan. And so God had given to his people food. And it's an interesting tie to the concept of food. Now, it's not by itself. If you fast forward to the end of Ruth, in chapter 4, verse 13, God then gives to Ruth, the daughter-in-law of Naomi, gives to Ruth a child. And a son, Obed, is born. And that same Hebrew word is used, give, natan. And there was a concept in the time and in the era of fertility being much like food. The land must be fertile to bring forth food. A woman's fertility is bringing forth a baby. And God is the supplier of both of those, which is an interesting idea to focus on. And I like the way the writer of Ruth tells us about it, because his word choice causes us to focus on God as the provider of things that nourish us and procreate us and keep our life going. So I think, as you pull into the weekend, the obvious thing is with each of your meals, pause before you eat it. Say thank you to God who gave you the food. Say, wait a minute, I bought this food at the grocery store. Doesn't matter. It's still God who gave it to you. God is the ultimate source of all that we've got. And so to thank God for the food is appropriate. But go a step further and see that God is the fertile source of all of your blessings in life. If you've got special relationships, you thank God for them. God brought them forth. If you've got special opportunities, you thank God for them. God is the fertile source of your opportunities. If you've got talents and gifts, you thank God for them. God is the source of your talents and gifts. We cannot thank God enough. He is the giver, not just of food, but of all good things. And that's your food for thought, your video thought for the weekend. See you next week. God's blessings on you.